Ladies and gentlemen, roll tide. This is Justin Riley from the Bama Standard. We decided to do an impromptu post-game show to celebrate the Iron Bowl victory, and I tell you what, my nerves are shot. I need to call a doctor to see if I can get anxiety meds. But to join in the fun, I have invited my buddy here from Week Zero Sports, and if you tune in on Saturdays, we have the Saturday morning cocktail kickoff. Mr. Daniel Petty, welcome in the post-game show.
Woo! Man, how's your pulse there, buddy?
Hey, it's slowly gaining ground again. I can't even talk right now. Matter of fact,
there, buddy.
Hey, we got a guest. Well, fans, if you missed the cocktail kickoff this morning, AC Carter was on, and we brought him back here for this show. AC, roll tide, man.
Roll tide.
Roll tide, AC.
Hey, man, I can breathe. My voice gone, but I can breathe.
Man, how's his heart? How's that heart, man? The palpitations.
Man, that was hard on me, man. That was hard on me.
I tell you what, man. I don't even know what to say at this point. You know, a tale of two different halves, or really, three quarters, and we showed up in that fourth one, that important one. And man, these kids, what a show and testament of heart.
I want to tell you this. That's why we put them foes up.
Yeah, it's a four.
Put them foes up. You got to go hard for 4 quarters. Not only 4 quarters, it took 4 overtimes. But
4 overtimes.
I'm super proud of them young men. Super proud of the staff. So proud of just the way we finished. We never gave up. We continued to press on. And, man, that's what it's all about. That's what these games are all about. Both teams did a phenomenal job. But guess what? We found the way to finish strong, and that's what it's all about, bro.
Oh, no doubt. But, it was just amazing. I knew Auburn was going to come with it. This is the Iron Bowl, and all these experts, all these analysts just want to, throw all this stuff right at you about stats, what they've been doing all season. Oh, there's no way possible this team can match up with Alabama. It's going to be a blowout. Man, this is the Iron Bowl. This is a special kind of monster, and I tell you what, they were ready. And they gave us everything they had.
We knew it going in. That's what this game is all about. Throw the stats out, throw the records out, throw all of that stuff. It doesn't matter. I mean, you got to put your mouthpiece in, buckle your chin strap, and play football, because that's exactly what you should expect in an Iron Bowl. And again, both teams, both staffs did a phenomenal job. I tell you, I didn't expect that. I said this morning, 47-10? I was completely off.
You were all right off.
all of us were, AC. We all kind of felt like that it was. I mean, look, Auburn just went on the road and lost to a South Carolina team running 2 plays. How could we? Come on, we got a little bit of expectations there, but
right.
But I tell you what, man, I don't care how how it got to the end, but how it got there to me was Alabama football, man. That is Jay Barker off his back foot throwing to Sherman Williams in the Outback Bowl. That's Malone catching it in the back of the end zone, man. That's how Alabama does it, man.
That's it.
Man.
98 yards, man. Ice in the veins.
Way to finish. It's in us. It's in us. Hey, man, but I tell you, that's the kind of guys, and I tell them, when we go recruit, we ain't recruiting, we select. Because you got to be made of something different.
Yes, sir.
Jersey on, because it's gonna be times just like that. But I just want all the young people, anybody that's listening to me, that is how life is gonna be. Sometimes the game, football is gonna end, but one day them guys are gonna be a husband. Them guys are gonna be fathers, and it's gonna be some tough times. They're gonna have to persevere, hold on, and keep fighting. And that's what it's all about. And that's what the game of football teaches, and that's what Coach Saban teaches, that style. But that's what it's all about. Standing strong, holding on, and fighting to the end.
Woo! Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I love it. Hey, I do have to ask you, man, where was your head at when Jameson got ejected? What was the first thing that went through your mind, man? I know a ton of things.
I was sick. But you know what? Not just because I wanted us to win. I mean, if this is me again, this is my personal opinion. I I don't think the rule is fair to the young men. They are playing hard. He's not trying to hurt anyone. I mean, it is that part of the game. But to be ejected after one, I think they should get maybe a warning, go out
Yeah.
for a while, give them a penalty. But to be totally disqualified, but not just that, now he's disqualified for the first half of the next game. If
And
I'm correct
Yeah.
on the rule,
you're very correct. I was wondering though, since he missed the last two quarters of of regulation, couldn't he have come back in overtime? I mean, he served his time, right?
that's what I'm saying. I just think I really think it's a tough, tough, tough deal for those young men. Especially in a game like that, to be I understand to be punished, he should be punished. If that's the rule, that's the rule. But to disqualify those young men, and I'm just not speaking for Williams, I'm just speaking for the game across the board. I think again, this is me personally, I think they need to go back and look at that rule. Maybe again, sitting the kids out for a quarter or whatever. But I mean, to disqualify for the whole game.
Yeah, sit them for a quarter, but man, like you say, a whole game that completely changes you.
Yes,
It happened to Auburn earlier in the year with Smoke when he went out, changed their whole defense for a game. So you can't, like you said, it's not just Bama, but man, like you said, you're taking away our biggest playmaker. That's tough, man.
You're hurting a lot of people taking the fall on that. So, but to answer your question, man, it was disappointing because I really want that young man to have a big game. He deserved it. He deserved to be out there playing. He worked his tail off. And to be disqualified, it was heartbreaking for me. I felt his pain. But I saw him over there cheering because I was really watching what was his body language. How was he going to be on the sideline? How
Good
was he
point.
going to interact with the guys? And I saw him. He showed energy. He was at the front. He was cheering his guys on. He was showing excitement. So hats off to the young man. I'm proud of him.
Yeah. And hats off to the kid that stepped up in his place and started
Ain't no
making
doubt.
plays.
Hey, man.
Gracious.
Well, John Mechie. Ja'Cory.
I never even heard of the kid, this Brooks kid.
No, I hadn't either.
I mean, but I tell you, man, I tell these young men, you're one play away. You never know when your opportunity comes. I mean, you got to be ready. It ain't get ready. It's be ready. And that's another young man, Brooks. Young man, I look forward to meeting you one day. I'm down there quite a bit, and I can't wait to shake your hand. But that was a great job, great poise, Bryce stepping up, offensive line blocking. But for that young man to make that play, great job, young man.
Man, no kidding.
Phenomenal play.
Hey, and you were wide receiver. You've done it in those stadiums. Is that not the hardest? I mean, coming over your shoulder like
man, that's
that.
A tough play, man. Shows. I mean, the concentration, the discipline, the eye coordination, the hand placement to make sure you're balanced, to stay in bounds. I mean, all of that stuff is going in his head, and to finish the play, to get in the paint on in a big bright stage like that. It ain't easy.
May have a Daniel Moore painted after that.
That's what I was going to say. Went from unknown to Daniel Moore in about 1 minute.
Hey, but that's another teaching moment for these young men.
It is.
Play for one play.
That's right.
You come from a nobody to a hero. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Being ready when your number called. Again, that's them 5 P's. Prior preparation prevents poor performance. Prior preparation prevents poor performance.
And listen,
stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
Yes, sir.
Hey, got to give some props. The man's got a lot of heat this year, but when the defense was needed the most, the defense kept the Tide in the game all night long.
Come on, Pete Golding, man.
That's what we stepping on, that D.
That's right.
Live on the defense. And, I've been waiting on what I saw tonight. I've been waiting on that all year long. I'm talking about playing lights out, fast, and physical. And I saw again, I'm watching the sideline. Will Anderson had that fire in his eye.
Oh, man, not just him. Dallas Turner.
Mentality in his eyes.
Well, and he was coming out talking to the offense.
He made some great plays, but the leadership, how he was on those guys. Just to watch how the defense played tonight was phenomenal. Hats off to the guys, man. I'm so proud of them young men, so proud of my little brothers, so proud of Saban and his staff. Oh, my goodness, I'm a proud Bama man tonight.
And AC, we talked about this a couple weeks ago on our show about leaders, about stepping up, about policing each other instead of waiting for the coaching staff to do it. And we've been waiting. And then tonight, man, I know it's the last game of the regular season, but if it's going to happen, it's got to happen tonight. And these young men became leaders. And, man, that meant a lot to me as a Bama fan and a fan of football. Man, what a moment for these guys.
What a moment for them. Hey, seize the moment. But now I'm going to just tell you this, 24-hour rule, enjoy the night. Let's get ready for them Bulldogs tomorrow morning. Right now, we eating dog food. We eat Bulldog for breakfast. We eat Bulldog for lunch. We eat Bulldog for dinner and a cup of water. That's all we want.
Come on.
Dog meat.
Come on.
Hey, look, I asked you earlier this morning, is it sweeter to win this game at home or on the road? And look, I know it didn't fit. Look, that heart attack ain't the way you want to do it.
Yeah.
But to snatch defeat when they felt victory all night long, you saw the glee in the stadium with seconds to go. They knew they had this game won. They were going to beat the Tide. They were going to take down Alabama. And then it happened in the last 30 seconds. That's the way to hurt a stadium.
Hey, like more to come back. Get over here.
Yeah.
Let me go, though. But I love you guys. Thank you so much.
Love you too, brother.
And guys, it's all about the fans. All the fans out there, enjoy this victory. You guys deserve it just as much as the guys do. I love you guys. Thank you so much.
We love you too, brother. Oh, Tide, roll! Yes, what I'm talking about. Woo!
Dude.
Man, I tell you.
His energy level has not faded from this morning.
I'm going to have to start getting practice reps to try to match what he brings to the table.
I would have to drink a 6-pack of Bang to be that fired up from the time we talked to him at 8-9 this morning till now. But woo.
Hey, let's see. We had a comment earlier. I wanted to get to it.
Well, we had a bunch of them flying. We got the game finished with Hillcrest players pretty much on the offense.
Brother P, he brought up something too. We were talking about Ja'Cory Brooks, how he stepped up. I also got to bring up this fact, Petty. I don't know if you noticed this, but Dalcourt went out and Seth McLaughlin came in at center. I'll tell you what, man. As soon as he was inserted to the lineup, and believe it or not, Chris Owens came back into the lineup. The offensive line was playing different.
Well, Brother P was the one that asked during the game about was Dalcourt out. He was asking, was he gone? So, yeah, I guess, man, it did change the line, man.
Yeah, they completely different mentality. Man, they took on a new persona, and it was just awesome because, I mean, Seth there, another young guy thrown into the Fury in one of the most ridiculous environments in college football, and he delivered.
The Indian Burial Ground on a Saturday night, especially when that Crimson team's in there, is a dip. Boy, that place gets loud, and they were fired up tonight, man. But the Tide answered the bell for another one. Look, I know it wasn't the game we all thought it was going to be, but you walked at the end of it. You walked out with a W, and that's all that mattered. But woo!
I'll tell you what, I came into this game, saying to myself, do I finally get to have a game where my anxiety does not get out of control? And the answer is hell no.
I'm just glad Bo Nix pointed out something we all got to see, and that's just how damn biased these refs are against Alabama.
Thank you.
Like by extending drives with phantom late hits. Come on, man. No, SEC refs suck, Bo. They helped your ass out just as much this year when you beat Arkansas, so you don't want to hear it. They helped you out tonight. They tried to help you keep it close, and the Tide still beat that ass, Bo.
Well, yeah, I mean, exactly. What we have in the teens in regard to penalties tonight, and to Auburn's very few. I think they had 9 to our whatever it was. But the thing is, they were crucial penalties, and they're also crucial no calls. And it was all night long. It's funny is that Jamo gets ejected for his incident. And let's be honest, man. If it's not malicious, if there's no intent shown, Man, just sit them for the next play or a series or something like that. It's not. Don't toss it for the game.
Or
But
how about we start a flag fucking football league? Damn it! This is a coliseum for gladiators and warriors. I mean, they you sign the ticket. You know what you're signing up for, man. I know. I get the whole head crap and whatever, but
it wasn't malicious. But then later on in the second half, the same exact thing happens, and it's an Auburn player. The same kind of contact. Nothing is said, nothing is done. There is not a hint of yellow anywhere. So don't ever say that Alabama has the refs in their back pocket because, again, we lead the SEC in penalties, and we definitely led the game in penalties. At one point, we had more penalty yards than we had total offense.
so and it had as many sacks as you did completions.
Oh, gosh.
That was the stat that blew me away. That's the one thing, man, Bryce, and he got better about it in the second half, finally. You got to get rid of the damn football. Throw the football away, buddy. We got to chunk that thing sometimes, man. But, hey, this isn't a night. There's going to be no teeth gnashing tonight.
No, not at all.
After snatching victory from the jaws of defeat in that fashion. And again, Justin, man, as a impartial, you see the Ole Miss behind me for the Bama fans that are confused out there. I'm a mixed breed, but I also feel like that gives me a perspective that's a little different than most people that have graduated from the capstone. And, man, I don't ever count you guys. I'll never count Alabama out of a football game. As long as there's ticks on that clock and there's enough mathematical sense to be made, I'm not counting them out. So it's just too many times that program, it's like the Yankees in baseball or even LSU in college baseball. There's just certain programs that rise to the occasion, regardless of the coaches or the players that change throughout the years. It's that same those teams. There's just certain teams that know how to do it, and damn it, Alabama knows how to do it when it matters most. It's amazing, man.
And just see, Sanders is officially the backup to Dallas Turner. Couldn't agree more. All due respect to Trey Sanders, but Dallas Turner is turning into that guy, and I believe he started really coming on against Texas A&M, and he's got progressively better each game, and he's made life a lot better for Will Anderson because the pressure is now focused on not just Will, but Dallas too. Offenses are having to account for it. And he was a difference maker tonight, along with Fedarian Mathis. Give a shout-out to big Fedarian Mathis. Played the game of his life on the defensive line. And then Byron Young, another guy. Absolutely phenomenal effort from him. And got to give a tremendous shout-out for a guy that has faced so much adversity and has fought so hard to get back on the field, and that's LeBron Ray. Man, that guy messed up a lot of plays for the Auburn offense tonight and was a big reason why we had success defensively.
Yeah, Trey stepped in. Someone talked about Trey. Trey stepped in and played when B-Rob went down. His leg got a little gimpy. Man, I was ready. I think a lot of Bama Nation's been ready for that moment where Trey Sanders steps in, and he kind of had his moment a little bit tonight. Now I know he didn't make the big plays, but he filled in when needed and did a damn good job.
I'd say the plays may not have been like huge. Well, actually, they were.
Crucial.
They were crucial pickups, man. I mean, crucial. My question is, why didn't we see more of him? Because the kid was on fire, and you got to spell B-Rob. You got to do something to change up things and give the defense a wrinkle to look at. Trey played very well tonight. Very impressed with what he did.
He looked crisp. He was very crisp looking when he came in. So
he did.
It was very fresh. So man, just so much to break down in a night where the first half was so ugly. The third quarter was so ugly. Just amazing, man. Amazing that and I know the feeling when the kid dropped the on that first field goal attempt and it went through his hands. That's the moment. I said it. I know everybody that has listened to this show, that knows us, that has heard the words come out of our mouth. Holy Indian burial ground hell! It is happening, isn't it? Because it's just something you don't see, and that's when you're like, all right, the spirits are out. They've called them. We're in for some shit to get this.
I'm telling you, man, they are calling on all the spirits, past, present, future, and I think too. I mean, that they unveiled the new eagle today, so he carried a few spirits in with him. So man, they pulled out all the stops. But tonight, the biggest stat of all, the curse of the Indian burial ground. Or Native American burial ground, sorry.
Native American, PC about it.
was broken. we had to go through hell to do it, but sometimes you have to go through hell to get to heaven. And boy, we made it there tonight.
Woo. Man, it was something else, man. It's again, I'll just keep going over it. Alabama does different things than some other teams, and how the hell they pulled that one out from the fire tonight. Saban's press post, I love it when you get Saban to a point that it kind of even breaks him from the ability to, and you get the most raw. And he kind of gave a kiddish giggle when she said, what do you
I love that.
He's like, hell, I don't. Even Saban was flabbergasted and didn't know what to say at the end of that game. And that's like, man, that's what you sign up for, man. That's why we love this sport. That's why we show up and get so passionate about it. We may have hated it for 4 hours, but by God, at the end, it was beautiful.
I'll tell you what, man. Sometimes you wish for these classic games, and you live for moments like this, but sometimes your heart can't take it.
No,
we pulled it out. What's up, Jimmy Clay? Good to see you here.
I'll say this though, in all of the excitement, I'm leaving Bill O'Brien's ass on the bus.
Not only that, sure the audience is going to agree with me. Go ahead and take all his Alabama apparel away from him. Let no one confuse him for being a part of this staff. Good grief.
Look, I mean, the plays were made at the end, but there's just so many times throughout the game, the 4th and 2 call, that when the game was kind of we thought the game was on the line. And then we ran it straight up the throat, and I'm like, God bless, get our quarterback out. It's just so unimaginative at times, and it's killing me.
And I kept on. I sat there and I just kept asking myself, why are we continually running it to the right side, the worst possible part of the offensive line? We just kept on doing it. We have an All-American in Evan Neal, a first-round draft pick, probably top 5. Man, get behind that big body and go.
Yeah, but shoot, the number 79 on that right side was just getting.
Well, actually, he wasn't there. It was 74. It was Damian George. It was Damian George that was in. And, yeah, he was getting worked. He's a young guy. He's kind of gotten thrown to the fire here in the last few games. But they did take him out. And like I said earlier, Chris Owens was put back in. And as much as we have ragged on him the entire year, he played very well, in the moments that matter the most.
Man, I'm getting amused at the questions we got flying over here. Leave Bill O'Brien under a bridge in Lee County. So apparently we did strike a nerve with the Bill O'Brien thing, even in the glee of the Iron Bowl win. If we can ask Nick Saban a question, can you please ask why no screenplays to offset the blitzes? Absolutely.
Okay, yeah,
if I get a chance
point.
to ask Nick Saban a question, I will ask him that, and then I will duck and cover. But I do agree.
Great point,
look, man. I'm not one of those people that think even the great Nick Saban's above questioning at times. I mean, he makes $1 million. You can ask, hey, man, that didn't seem like it worked, Coach. Brother P wants Pruitt. You don't want Sark. You won't Pruitt for the defense. You probably won't
for the defense. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting on. I'm getting. Y'all are just wanting all kind of new coordinators. I get it.
Clean house, but back to what you said about the screens, man. Yeah, I've not seen that screenplay the entire year. Well, I take that back. We were doing it against Florida with Jace McClellan, but as soon as he went down, it's like they stopped. And man,
you can only do it with scatbacks. That's an NFL rule or some shit.
Listen, I think Trey Sanders is the act that can properly execute that. I think we need to consider using him in that role. But with the defense loading the box and blitzing like that, man, you got to take advantage of that and hope that that screen is going to pop some of those guys loose.
Yeah, I agree, Brian. If you can leave Lane Kiffin at a game, you can definitely leave Bill O'Brien.
Now, I think Lane Kiffin's a little bit more accomplished than Bill O'Brien.
You left a real good one at the airport on that one. You can leave one that can't coach. Woo! Your assessment
of where Harrison's head would be at earlier
was dead on, wasn't it? Boy, I nailed that.
Well,
let's go back to my entire assessment of the ball game and see how I don't know what part of it I got right. I mean, I had said, I guess the Bama defense did hold them theoretically until overtime, but and that Finley's not a good passer. I got that part right. Outside of that, I didn't get the Harson's head not being in the game. No, he was completely in the game. Hell, he may have.
He was dialed in.
Alabama. He outcoached Alabama for the better part of 3 quarters.
I mean, if he's going to Washington, he decided to go out on a hell of a great note, man.
Yeah. My wife let me know about that, Justin. I'm glad you called me out on the air because my wife's already called me out. She said, "I thought you said the Auburn coach was going to be." It's like, yeah, I missed that one.
Well, Michael also said the moment was going to be too big, essentially, for Harsin, that he's going to get rocked today. And no, that wasn't the case at all. I guess those Boise people have a little bit more ice in their veins than we give them credit for.
No doubt.
Mark Hughes, Bill O'Brien made Derek Mason look like Monty Kiffin in his prime. I absolutely agree. Give credit to Derek Mason tonight. He dialed up an incredible defense tonight. Man, I love Derek Mason. Was a big fan of him as a player in the NFL. Man, he was a hard-nosed guy when he played, and of course it's transferred into his play calling as a coach. Excellent defensive play calling tonight.
Yeah, I'm with Plow Jogger on Jimmy. No Dan Mullen at Capstone. No, that asshole. No.
Listen, don't bring
he's
that
a prick. He wouldn't get along with Saban. He thinks he's good. He's better. All right, let's get this out. I know this is Bama, but why the great quarterback guru? Let's name all the pro quarterbacks Dan Mullen's made great. I'll count them. Let's on one hand. We got Dak. No. Oh, people say Tebow. Did Tebow get better through college? Because if he did, he would have been a good pro quarterback. So he doesn't get credit for Tebow. I would more give that. No. So the great fuck. No, you don't want Dan Mullen in the Capstone. No. We ain't resurrecting that asshole. Let him go back north with the other pricks. Sorry.
Absolutely, you really can't give him credit for Dak. Dak was already he was already special. He was already destined for greatness, and there was nothing. If anything, Dak did what he did in spite of Dan Mullen. So no, I don't award him props for that.
0 points, Dan Mullen. Take your cousin Eddie looking ass to the north.
Brian Green, as far as Robinson's injury goes right now, I'm still waiting on updates from Touchdown Alabama Magazine's senior analyst Stephen M. Smith.
I'll be honest, Jimmy. I'll answer your question. Man, look at the pipeline that's come out of UCF here lately, and try to hit something out of that. The Browse, what we got, the Heupel that's going on at Tennessee. That offensive pipeline's working in the SEC right now. And there's a lot of names still left in it. Look at the guy at Arkansas. He comes from Kendall Briles. They come from that same offensive mindset. If I'm Saban, and Saban is the most adaptive coach in college football. That's why he is the GOAT. He knows those offenses are working. I wouldn't be shocked to see him go after that type of system. But maybe not. Who knows?
Brother P thinks we should bring back Mike Shula.
Yes.
He is a quarterback whisperer. I will say he's not a head coach by any stretch of the imagination, but he is excellent at developing quarterbacks. And to see him with Bryce Young, it'd be interesting to see what he could get out of him. It'd be a nice concept. Let's see.
Coach Bud Kilmer's going to give Robbins that shot. And hey, Jimmy, that was not a rant more at you, buddy. I'm not a big Dan Mullen guy.
Nor am I. I'm not exactly a fan of his wife either.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And, man, if his wife comes, she's gonna be kissing all your players, and then things just get weird. But no, I would like to see from a Bama perspective, I'd love to see Saban go with that offense. That you got the talent. Boy, I look at Bryce Young in an offense that's being ran by somebody like Heupel or Jeff Lebby or one of these are spreading out the talent.
Oh, without a doubt. And Heupel, like we mentioned earlier on our show this morning, what a tremendous job he's done in developing Hendon Hooker. He went to the transfer portal, got a guy that was thrown away from Virginia Tech, and he's emerged as one of the top quarterbacks in the country, believe it or not. Actually, top 10 in regards to production. So, excellent job there. So, yeah, we need a guy like Heupel at Alabama. That'd be amazing. But, you see. Eric Owens, Bill O'Brien play calling reminded me of the Shula years. Absolutely. I thought he got one of those plays from Tecmo Bowl and the halfback dive. It was just
it doesn't seem very imaginative for the athletes that are on that field. I'll say that.
Not Tom Herman, Eric. No, not Tom Herman.
Why not, man? He wouldn't have to worry about his wife kissing the players. Herman kisses the players himself.
Yeah, so either way, it's a more Either way, it's a Maury Povich show waiting to happen.
I don't know, man. Herman's. I wouldn't. I don't know about. I don't know if I'd be completely against Herman. Wasn't he? Did he run the offense up at Ohio State before he took over at Texas? That was his thing, right?
I think wasn't he at Cincinnati before he went to Texas?
Oh, I thought he was at Ohio State. Did he go to Cincinnati?
I can't remember. But
great coach.
Brian Green, one thing for sure, our guys played their butts off tonight, never gave up. Absolutely, and we promised that we were going to focus on the positive tonight, and we kind of drifted away towards some of the negative, and we want to definitely keep that, that I can't even speak. I'm so excited. That
man, yeah, we want to keep that mojo that AC brought on of excitement. Absolutely. Oh man, we got Michael on here. Solid.
I'm trying to keep up with all the comments.
Yeah, man, y'all are flying in, running over the right side, and over there. Well, yeah, we have Michael. We have fired Bill O'Brien and hired a few coordinators. Yet that 97-yard drive. I'll be honest. Did you? I knew it was coming, man. I just knew it.
It had that feel because someone I was tweeting frantically and angrily tonight, and someone brought up in my news feed there the A.J. McCarron to Amari Cooper play in the Iron Bowl back in 2013, and of course the result we won't talk about at that point, but and shortly thereafter, 97 yards by Bryce Young, thing of beauty, Heisman moment. If ever there was a Heisman moment, it was that.
Was it? One it made me think of was down at Auburn was Todrick McLone. Wasn't it Todrick that caught the pass in the back of the end zone to beat Auburn?
No, that was. But the year previous, Curtis Brown had a catch against Auburn in the back of the end zone. Both feet were down, and they called it out.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what okay.
That one still hurts, by the way, because
I don't mean to bring up bad memories. Crap, I was trying to bring up all the good ones.
I'm telling you.
I'm trying to bring up the good ones. Trying to bring up all the good.
I'm trying to get to everybody's comments here, so if I miss anybody.
Is this the first time that y'all, someone made a comment that usually the wacky Iron Bowls, and I know that. I know the Bama punt and the stupid other crap. Is this the first crazy one that's gone y'all's way? Do the crazy ones usually go the way of Auburn always?
It usually does. And here's an interesting thing that I didn't realize tonight until this is one of the few things that Gary said that was actually worth listening to. This is the first time in the history of the series it went to overtime.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Who would have ever thought? Look what happens when the younger guys play, Brooks and Kool-Aid. Hey, absolutely. Got to give a shout-out again to Ja'Cory Brooks. And Kool-Aid, man, he grew up tonight. And he shows us why, he was heavily recruited in this phenomenal class.
Michael was all excited about Kool-Aid showing up tonight and taking Job's spot. Job still showed up and made his usual plays. But, there's some young kids that grew up, man. That's got to be. And, look, all year you've been wanting that leadership. A leader is someone that doesn't just yell or stand up and holler in his huddle. Mm-hmm. He's the guy that goes to the other side and says, hey, get y'all's asses in gear. We're playing our asses off. And you saw Will Anderson tonight walk into that offensive huddle in the fourth quarter, and he was the leader getting the offensive going. And that's when you're like, okay, now this is Will Anderson's team. As much as Bryce did what he did, you learned tonight whose team this is, and it's number 31 on that defense.
Without doubt. And I also have to give props to Jaleel Billingsley. Did he have a phenomenal night? No, but he caught a huge pass that converted on fourth down. And this is a guy we've been kind of wondering, where's he at? Why is he not the player that we saw last year? Well, forget all that. He made a crucial catch when it counted the most. And let me get to what Michael's saying here. If Armour Davis comes back next week, we got 2 lockdown corners. Definitely missed Jalen Armour Davis tonight because with the much maligned secondary, he's been one of the few bright spots, man. So, yeah, he was definitely missed today.
Do you think this close game helps Bama going into Georgia? I absolutely do.
It does. Anytime you face all that adversity and you still win, it definitely builds up the confidence.
Look, man, what are we going to hear all week? Look at that Bama team. They just scraped by Auburn. They do not have it. They don't have the offensive line. Georgia's too powerful. Georgia's defense is good. If Auburn can shut down that offense, you know Georgia's defense is going to shut down that offense. It almost sounds like a week or two of my life in 1992 where all I heard is the Tide can't win, the Tide can't win, the Tide can't win. All I know about my lifetime is when someone says the Tide can't win over and over and over, you better watch out.
And without a doubt, of course, after the Saban interview, the camera went back to Gary, and he started in on all that. He couldn't wait to to bring that up. I'll be so glad when the season's over. Well, we get to the postseason, the real postseason, and we don't have to deal with Gary anymore. But yeah, James Knox, love the fact Bama will hear all the underdog talk this week. Absolutely,
all week, buddy. Tide doesn't have a chance. Y'all can't beat Georgia?
Yeah. Brother Pete, 2 lockdowns. Yes, we're talking about the AD. He's the truth, man. Got to give him the props for what he does.
You got to earn Brother P's. You got to earn Brother P's love a little harder than that. He's. God, I wish I could remember the guy's name this off.
But if you go back and look at film, he's been the most consistent defensive back the entire season. And he doesn't get beat often. If he does, you got to earn it.
So many guys made great plays, team effort. Yeah, it was. And again, man, going forward to Georgia, boys didn't get tested again today. They just walked through. Now they're trying to put Stetson Bennett up for the Heisman. For 150 yards. I almost fell out of my seat when I heard that shit. What? Just because he happens to, because he's lucky enough to be on the best team in the country right now? Come on, man. Maybe it's one of the highest.
Where I started setting up for this, I heard that. Are you serious right now?
Let's hype Stetson Bennett up for that. Hey, look, anything they want to pile onto this week to make Georgia just the queen of the ball, do it, man. Heisman, all that good crap.
I'm not going to take anything away from Stetson Bennett. It's not his fault that these jackasses are making bold statements like that. I mean, the guy has a tremendous story. Fourth string guy, walk on. Never thought he see the field his entire career at Georgia. Is leading his team to an SEC title and possibly more. Got to give hats off to him, but don't mention him in the Heisman Trophy situation just because he had 4 touchdowns today. Come on, he did it against a 3 and whatever team.
Well, I tell you what, if Stetson Bennett's under center for Alabama tonight, Auburn's the Iron Bowl champion.
Oh, without a doubt. He doesn't make those kind of plays.
No, he didn't face that kind of adversity. Yeah, and he's a senior, and trust me, he ain't winning the Iron Bowl if Stetson Bennett's the quarterback for the University of Alabama, so they can shut that shit up. But again, hey, do it all week. Talk them all up, man. Stetson's great. He's really better than he really is. He's actually better than a 150-yard passing quarterback and 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions a game. All right, keep it up.
I don't think that he has the wherewithal or the cojones to put together a 97-yard drive.
Look, we can talk Indian burial. I like to joke about the Indian burial ground, but there's also something to the voodoo magic of talking shit about Alabama all week, regardless of what's going on. It's at your own risk.
Hey, and speaking of talking, I was starting to light in to Saban on my tweets after that rant he went on Wednesday, and I'm sitting there saying, this is the product we have on the field after we get this rant, scolding us for being bad children. But then we did what we did.
And then you do this, Coach?
Then we do what we do, and I look like a complete jackass. Yeah. That's why I'm a fan, and he's the coach.
That's why we're fans and fanatics, and he's the GOAT.
What's the over-under on how many excuses the Barn fans will come up for losing tonight?
I have a feeling they're going to be a super level of deflated. Like, I don't even know if they can start making excuses yet because they so much had it in their heart for 4.5 hours that they had won a football game. I think there's a level of deflate in the down on the plains right now. They're going to have to lick some wounds for a minute before they can even come up with an excuse after that shit.
But I got to bring this up too. If Auburn can play at the level they played tonight with T.J. Finley, why haven't we seen that kind of effort the entire season? And I don't want to hear the excuse that, well, you're going to get up for your rival. No, if you don't put that kind of effort towards every game, Come on, man. Why are you even on the team? And Auburn's record would be a lot different right now if we saw that kind of effort week in and week out.
Oh, you got the big blown game against. I don't know, man. They're a weird team. A lot of weird teams in the SEC this year. There's just, there's even Bama, who we tried to find the chinks in the armor all year. Everybody has their chinks and shows up at different times.
Right. Jimmy Clay, when will Williams get to play against Georgia after the targeting penalty? I believe he'll get to play the first half because he sat out the entire half of today's game.
Was it the first half that he got the target?
Yeah, it was the first half.
He's fine. He's fine.
Yeah,
he'll play the whole game against Georgia.
Yeah, he'll be ready to go.
Yeah, he's good.
And listen,
it's if you get a targeting in the second half of a ball game, that you have to sit. So he's money.
James Knox, I do believe Bama football's analyst department is most to blame for them not being prepared. Well, if we had Charlie Strong, that wouldn't happen.
Is Charlie Strong? Is that our play? Is that who we're? Is that?
I would love to have. I still want Bo Davis back, but again, hats off to our DC. Coached a hell of a game. Coached a hell of a game tonight. I'm not going to take anything away from tonight.
The defense kept the tide in, kept it a game tonight. Made it what happened possible.
Right.
Boy, man, that defensive line was firing like some monsters. Woo.
But James, I think a lot of the blame for me during this game goes to Doug Marrone. 12 games, and this is the product we have on the field in regards to an offensive line. This is what we see. Games 1 through 3, you kind of expect it, but there's been no growth. There's been regression. So what is Doug Marrone doing?
I don't know, and if you can't run off that left side with Neal and them, there's at all times. Neal's there's something bad wrong, man.
I don't know, but in the second half, like I said, it was cool to see them put Seth McLaughlin. I'm from Mississippi, I can't talk. In at center, and he stepped up like a champion. So again, props to that man. Let's see, Plow Jogger, we got a question. What do we need to do to get this offensive line straightened out?
A lot of that going on.
That's a question we've been asking all year. How do we shake up this alignment to finally get something going? The thing is, with as many times as we've been playing musical chairs, when you do that, it's hard to build continuity. It's hard to get that chemistry going and be able to trust the guy next to you because you don't know if they're going to be there in the lineup the next week. So we've got to find a lineup and stick with it and work in developing those guys. Let's see. Jimmy Clay, bye-bye, Doug and Bill.
Yeah, Brother P mentioned it during the game. He said, I hope Saban still got that ass in him and that it'll clear out the whole staff. And I don't – look, man, I know Saban said all the right things throughout the season. He gets on the fans a little bit for y'all, us being self-absorbed, which we are. After 10 years of that, it can't kind of help it. You created that beast, coach. Sorry, deal with it. You did. Created the monster. You're going to have to deal with it. But I think he's saying a lot of the right things. I still think the old Coach Saban's in there, and he ain't done coaching. He wants to keep winning. I think he realizes there's some holes on that coaching staff. He's
not stupid, and I think that's probably some of the reason why. Excuse me. He went on that rant this week. He's obviously frustrated because he's having to deal with things that, quite frankly, in his tenure, he's never had to deal with before, and they haven't been corrected. They haven't gone away. So it's really tough for a man of his stature, to not be pissed off, to not be mad. And then on top of that, how we can be, Bama guys. We're very overbearing. We're very demanding. Let's just call it what it is. We can't be a little self-absorbed.
Yeah. Well, look, man. Look, I got to get Saban created that monster a little bit, but I'm expecting some house cleaning in a couple of weeks.
I agree. So. I agree. Agree with you, Eric Owen. We got 5'10" offensive linemen on the left side, and we can run to the right 95% of the time. Yeah, absolutely. That's still a head scratcher.
Michael brought that up, and we missed it earlier. He's like, so the first half, I don't get that either.
James
I have no words for that. Run to the damn left. Yeah, run behind your horses, man. We ran Sean behind Chris Samuels. We did every time.
That's all you had to really do. Well, Griff Redmill, he held his own too. I mean, I gotta give
Ben
Griff,
Hogan.
Paul Hogan.
Paul Hogan. No, Ben Hogan. Not the golfer.
Not the golfer. James Knox O'Brien and offensive line coach Doug Marrone needed that same Charlie Strong type in their ears and by extension breathing down their backs. Yeah. You got to let your coaches have it. Bill O'Brien needs to come down from that little press box so he can get those famous chewings that Lane Kiffin was a man and was able to take. Let's see. Eric Owens, Doug isn't a player's coach. Sometimes folks coming from the NFL to college can't relate to the players. Doug and Bob got to go. I agree with that. We've you're amused right now.
Yeah.
What's caught your eye in this comment section? They're fired up tonight.
Yeah, man, the comment section's going up, man. That's getting me tickled. That and someone else called my Ben Hogan slip there of the tongue, not Paul.
But Eric, there's a big difference in relating to players professionally and relating to players collegiately. Different relationship altogether, and you got to be able to adjust to that in order to get the best out of your players at this level. And it doesn't look like they're able to do that. And it's funny, they keep on bringing up how we have former NFL coordinators, serving all the offensive line, serving all our offensive coordinator spot. But here's the biggest thing of it all: they came from teams they didn't win at. So what exactly won Nick Saban over in the interviews?
I don't know, man. Saw something in them. I guess the Fighting Ochre defense did some magical stuff over there.
Ochre, yeah, the pride of Delta State. Yeah, Nick Saban Jr. Us Bama fans are the rat poison. Yes, we can be, but we're first in line at Walmart though. Come day after the championship. James Knox, all these shortcomings are Bama's opportunity to make this the greatest run of Saban's era. Couldn't agree more. If Alabama is able to do the impossible, seemingly according to the analysts, this probably would be the best coaching job Nick Saban has done, simply from an aspect of dealing with all the adversity and the distractions and the problems he's had to deal with this year.
Is that accurate? What Michael just said? Were both teams had total under 100 yards?
Let me pull out the old famous.
Somebody give us the stat. We need some stats.
I'm pulling it up right now. If you would kind of keep up with these folks in the chat while I do some investigation.
That's got to be, yeah, man. And for two programs that are historic power running teams, and you got Tank on one side and you got B-Rob on the other. Yeah, if that's the case, man, that's insane. Okay,
the stats are total yards. Alabama had 381 to Auburn's 159.
So y'all, and then what? You had 317 passing, right? So.
Yeah, 317 passing. Here's a stat for those who are keeping score at home. Penalties. The Bama who always has the calls go their way. 11 for 129 yards to Auburn's 7 for 53.
Damn cheating ass refs always in the damn Tide's pocket. I told you them cheating refs are coming after Auburn.
That's it. Bo Nix. Hey, did you see that last little glimpse of Bo Nix on the sideline as the show was ending? Was he crying?
I hope so. I hope I soak up every one of those Auburn
Was he crying into his NIL endorsement for
Milo's tea?
Milo's tea.
Anybody's crying is damn Milo. It's like, why did we sign this asshole?
God.
He sucks. I'm like Michael. I wish somebody would have stuck a stick in his little scooter and just rolled his butt on over forward.
Absolutely. Hey, and Charles Barkley was right. Don't poke the bear.
Don't poke the bear.
Yeah, so that was more of an Ogeron there.
I cannot do Barkley, man. That's one I don't even off the cuff. If I had to think about it and try for a second.
Let's see.
I can't do Barkley, man. I will blow that. I can do Coach O. I can't do Barkley. I can do Coach O doing Barkley. Hey, Coach Saban, you need somebody to coach defense and cook gumbo for the team. I heard you into restoring coaches. I've been running around with a bunch of blind women, and I need to get my shit together. And I cook you some gumbo and coach some defense. Roll Tide.
Plow Jogger 1776. Bryce kneeling in prayer in the corner of the end zone needs to be a Bama painting. Absolutely, I would buy it and I would put it on my wall. That beautiful moment. And
he was just doing everything that every other Bama fan was doing in their house.
Except he was praying to God instead of Indian spirits. Bo crying because Bama.
Those years were Bo Nix Heisman moments. Oh boy! Those
Hey, by the way,
yeah.
By the way, I don't know if y'all caught this in the game. Before the game, they were interviewing Bo Nix on the sideline. Jamie Erdahl, all 5'2" of her, was trying to get Bo Nix's decision on whether or not he's going to be coming back this year. Where's he going? It definitely at the NFL, and I'm sure The Rock doesn't want him in the XFL. So yeah, he's coming back.
I hear you. Petty, give me your top 4 teams right now. Oh, wow. Georgia number 1's the given. I'm not hopping Michigan straight to number 2 just because they beat number 2. Bama number 2.
I'm hard-pressed to not put
Michigan
there,
4,
but...
Michigan, yeah, man, you kind of, do you hop them?
Well,
I'm not big into the hop thing. I mean...
I wouldn't from an aspect of yes, the incredible win that they had today in Michigan, amazing, phenomenal.
What puts them in the top 4?
Puts them in the top 4, but for Alabama, much maligned Alabama, to go in, face that kind of adversity, and able to come out against your rival, I still think that keeps them at number 2.
Well, that's why I said Bama, but it really doesn't matter because 2-3 plays each other. So you got, you're going to have Cincinnati number 4, Georgia number 1, and intermix Bama and Michigan at 2 and 3 right now. And then we'll see what happens next week.
I want to play Cincinnati.
Don't we all? Don't we all? Hey man, Bama Michigan for that 2 spot that'd be a dandy.
Yeah, they're probably still a little salty from that Orange Bowl.
Yeah, and Michael's got a good point. Look, you can't tell me that committee don't sit in there and are half marketing assholes. That Bama number 2 next week gives you a number 1, number 2 matchup going into this game. Hey man, the higher you are, the better chance you don't fall out of that number 4 spot too. If you're Bama at number 2, I don't know. I don't know what the committee would do with that, depending on how the game played out.
Do you think the committee might be jackasses and put Alabama at 4?
No, drop them. No, they're not going to hop them with Cincinnati. I think you're going to see that. You're going to see bookends of UGA, Cincy, and then you're going to see some mix of Bama, Michigan. I'm like Michael. I think we'll see Bama number 2. I think they'll do that get us a 1-2 matchup in that SEC championship game.
Let's see.
Oh shit! A 1-2 matchup in the SEC championship. Here we go.
That right there that should be the playoff.
Are you not entertained? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It should be it is the playoff. Like Georgia's, whoever wins that, you got it. You're the fault. Some conference, the conference champ that may jump Cincy is you got to be looking. I'm watching Bedlam right now. Does Oklahoma State get enough if they pulled this out and beat Oklahoma? They're up right now 24-17.
I need to jump on that.
Oklahoma, if Oklahoma State can be the one to jump Cincy, boy, would that not piss in their Cheerios. But I'm telling you, man, I know this doesn't. I want Cincy in because I think Cincy forces the expansion, and I want the expansion. I'm all about it. So sign me up.
James Knox, Bo crying because Bama has learned to win with the fluke and muddle up the Iron Bowls. No more pick six. Mark Ingram fumbles heading into the end zone. Miracle
for
wins
30
for
yards.
If anything was a fluke, when have you seen a fumble that went 30 yards down the damn field?
You roll a football 30 yards straight. Try it. Just try it. The fact that it happened while he was running. Is somebody cutting down oh God, tell me no. Tell me he's no longer there.
Please. No, he actually passed away.
Michael, he did, didn't he?
Yeah, he did a few years ago. Michael, what happens if Michigan loses next week? Harbaugh could pull Harbaugh next week. They're playing. Well, never mind. They're playing Iowa. Good Lord.
Nah, ain't happening.
God,
that would be funny though.
It'd be hilarious. But it's going to be like one of those 1995, like 10-3 games.
Hey, if you were on the kickoff show this morning, by the way, we did tell you that Michigan was going to cover that spread.
You did.
I didn't know they were going to win, man. Hey, props to
either.
Harbaugh, man. The great khaki wearer finally won a big football game.
Does this make him... It's going to make him crazy again. Are we going to... Detestable? Is he just going to go... oh, no. Please don't. Don't
I
ruin
hope
it for
not.
us.
I hope not, but I to be the person that I have been the last few years towards Jim Harbaugh, and that's a complete asshole, it was amazing how happy I was and cheering for Michigan today. It was awesome.
Oh, my gosh. It was hard for me just because of Harbaugh. Plow Jogger 1776. Yes, Auburn Voodoo has been broken by Bryce Young's prayers of faith. See what happens when you talk to Jesus?
So, Mark Hughes says this just in. Lincoln Riley said he's not leaving Norman except in a pine box. So,
it looks like ooh,
that's an old school Sting.
Oh my gosh, what's going to happen now? Eric Owens, Helms played the best he's played all year. Dallas Turner's grown up before our eyes. Hey, first of all, I have been hard on DeMarco Helms all year, rightfully so. But tonight, I have to give the young man props. First of all, he was laying the wood tonight. He was rocking some dudes, knocking some helmets, breaking up a lot of plays. He was dialed in. He was focused. Hats off to him. And yes, Dallas Turner doing what he does, man. Meet you at the quarterback.
Turner, man, they were all meeting them back there tonight, man. It was. They were all like you said. It was one of those. I'm going to get there first.
Props to your co-host. I was getting flack from OSU was unbeatable crowd this morning. Hey, I was one of those people too, just because from a talent standpoint, across the board, OSU just outmatched them in every category. But then it's a rivalry game.
I was on Michigan, man. I didn't know if they'd win it. I didn't think they'd win it outright like that. But I had a feeling Michigan was going to do something. Well, look, man, again, I know we don't like this, and it didn't play out in the Bama game tonight on the scoreboard or in the stats column. But the matchups, the OSU matchups against Michigan, OSU hadn't matched up well against top 25 defenses. And when you play in that shitty league, you don't get to play a lot of top 25 defenses. And Michigan does have a legit defense. And that was the key to that game today.
Speaking of that, I have to give a shout out, especially up front from Michigan. We give a lot of props to Will Anderson, and deservedly so. But Michigan has got a defensive lineman that is right behind Will Anderson in terms of sacks. That dude brought it today, and OSU's quarterback was on the ground quite frequently. So yeah, C.J. Stroud, he got his jersey messed up a little bit today. Pod Jogger, Lincoln, what if an NFL team backs up the Brinks truck, buddy? Harbaugh better double down on what got him success this year. He sees where Coach O is today with 2-year-old conference and national titles. Absolutely right. But is the Michigan fan base as demanding as what an SEC school is?
Obviously not. They let him lose to his rival 5 straight years.
Absolutely. So.
Yeah, Stroud needs to still get some touch, Michael. You're right. In the big games, man, it's real easy when you're facing the worst secondaries in the country, but when you're facing some dudes that can play, he looked a little different today.
Yes, Pal Jogger. I was searching for his name this week. I've not been able to recall names very well, so thank you for the assist. Aiden Hutchinson made himself a lot of money today. Draft stock will soar. Absolutely. I tell you what, man, these defensive linemen this week, like Aiden Hutchinson, Sam Williams, and some others have made a lot of money for themselves in terms of the NFL.
Yeah, man, that Hutchinson's something. And, I hate it that we don't get to watch those guys more than you don't see them more than you do or catch them at the end of the season because, man, that kid's a hell of a player. And, man, look, I know it was Iron Bowl day, but today was a really cool day for the old school college football fans. We had 2 snow games, and I know y'all weren't watching the second one, but the Penn State-Michigan State game was a straight-up whiteout on the field, and it was a thing of beauty.
Man,
love some snow football, man. And look, getting that, How do you not start a day off? Look, you get the Iron Bowl to cap it off, but you're starting off Ohio State and Michigan in the snow. It was just, man, today was a great day for college football, and then you get it with one of the most dramatic wins for Alabama, the most dramatic win for Alabama in Jordan Hare.
Yeah. Pile Jogger. Also, Mechie is going to be the wide receiver still of the first round.
That just hands got to get consistent.
Yeah, the only thing that's held me back from saying that is his catching. He needs to be more consistent with that. But hell of a player.
Yeah, he's got so much talent. Shit,
oh my gosh, and another leader tonight that really stepped up. Looking for that veteran presence. That's something we've been questioning all year. Who are some of these older guys that are going to step up and help guide this team? And Mechie did. 13 catches for 150 yards tonight. I believe, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, that puts him over 1,000 yards receiving this year.
I can't or cannot. I'm assuming it does.
Nothing like the Iron Bowl of 2014. It's kind of similar as far as stress level goes. The 2014 Iron Bowl where Blake Sims riled us back. That was the
Blake. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. We talked about that on our show this past Tuesday.
Yeah,
Excellent.
But the deal about that one is, we were scoring back and forth. There was a little bit of fear for there a minute there. Can we get it in the end? Look, man, the offense can score. You can score touchdowns, but there is that element as the game goes on. Man, we haven't got it in the end zone. I haven't got it. Can we get it? Then you start getting nervous, and that's what put so much on tonight that just made it different. Like, damn, we keep getting down there and it's not happening. Are we gonna get it through?
Absolutely. I'll draft the receiver from Arkansas,
Yes,
Treylon Burks. Good
Yeah.
Lord, absolutely. That guy's a top 10 guy.
Every time I watch Arkansas play, the one thing that I say, annoyingly to anybody around me is like, hey, you realize 90% of my offense would be jump balls to Burks, because there's not the best defensive backs in the country can't cover that dude, because he's like Randy Moss with 30 more pounds.
Yeah, without question. But yeah, man, what a night tonight!
What a night, man. Nothing else to say, but man, roll damn Tide.
Yeah, roll Tide. Man, really excited to get that W, even though it was in dramatic fashion. Let's see.
And now,
Mechie's going to be a better pro than college player. Hey, he's got my support. I mean, don't get me wrong.
And
I can't confirm nor deny Mechie's receiving yards at the moment. Okay, talking about in regards to him breaking 1,000, but yeah, for everybody in the chat, we really appreciate you coming on. This was impromptu. This is a lot of fun. I wish AC could have been with us the entire time, but for those of you who joined late, AC Carter was on with us briefly, and he brought the energy again, man, and love celebrating with him. Jimmy Clay Mechie is a senior. So, yeah. But anyway, guys, listen, we got some other games like Daniel mentioned. We got Bedlam going on. I definitely want to tune into that, see how that plays out. But, again, it wasn't pretty. Sometimes you got to win ugly to win a championship. And this is about ugly as it gets. But the thing is, it's pretty because it's a win.
It's a win. Hey, and we get to play again next week. You got the SEC Championship coming up. Justin is going to be with you Tuesday night with the Bama Standard, bringing the noise. He doesn't know the guest yet, I don't think, but I think he's going to look, man. Every Tuesday night they got some badasses from the history of Crimson Tide on there with them.
Real quick before we go, LSU currently is beating Texas A&M.
Woo!
So,
as you said this morning, is that a tricky line?
Yeah, so they're wanting to perform for Coach O. And, hey,
Coach O, you just win it one more time for the Coach O.
Half of game day actually they were torn. They picked LSU. So,
really?
Yes, File Jogger does confirm that John Mechie has over 1,000 yards receiving. So, we have 2,000-yard receivers.
Yeah. So, all right.
Rammer Jammer, Plow Jogger, thank you, Brother P, for that. Roll Tide, James Knox. See you in the chat for TDA on Monday and on our show on Tuesday night. James, also, we meet on Saturday mornings at 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern, where we cover all of college football And we're going to be definitely talking about all the conference championships coming up. So tune in to the Bama Standard and the Saturday morning cocktail kickoff.
Saturday morning cocktail. And for all you guys in the thread that are with Justin, man, hey, if you need a little bit more, Wednesday morning, Thursday morning, my guys, me and my co-host Michael over at Week 0, we're always talking gambling in Alabama, Ole Miss. We're talking all kind of football, but we're always talking gambling, cocktails. We got a podcast. Check out Week 0 Sports. Hit us up, subscribe to us. Give us some love because we've always got Justin and his guys on the show. We kind of work together, and like he said, enjoying this Saturday. We got the SEC Championship. We got to have a smack on Saturday.
No doubt. Hey, by the way, all you people right now who are in the chat, do us a huge favor and go hit that like button. It helps us out tremendously. And we appreciate what you do for us as fans. And, hey, roll tide and enjoy the rest of your weekend.